Hello everyone and welcome to another Real Rap Review. This is JP Bonilla and today I'll be reviewing Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Now, as you guys probably know, there was a Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. This one was supposed to be Dead Reckoning Part 2. However, because Dead Reckoning Part 1 didn't do super well in the box office, there are a lot of factors that contributed to that. It still made money, but they were probably like, oh well, because it's called Part 1, a lot of people are waiting for Part 2, and that's why no one went to go see it in theaters, or not as much as they expected. Because the thing is, Fallout, Rogue Nation, Ghost Protocol, they all made a ton of money in the box office. Dead Reckoning Part 1, it made money, it just didn't make as much as those did, so they saw it as a disappointment. I don't blame them. But it's also around the time they released it too, because it was also around the time Oppenheimer and Barbie released, so it was in a rough spot. But now we got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, so it still kind of follows up on the title of the last film, except instead of Part 2, it's The Final Reckoning. They just kept the reckoning. But yeah, so everything still continues. It's still continuing the story from Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is still very much Dead Reckoning Part 2. Not that the title doesn't imply that it isn't, but just to clarify out there. So yeah, they still have to deal with the entity. They still have so many loose ends to deal with. And basically the gist is that the entity is basically, I think, to put it in the best way possible, the entity is basically becoming Ultron. They had similar goals. They want to destroy the entire world, but they do it in different ways. Of course, Ultron is a physical robot being, whereas the entity is still just mostly digital, stuck somewhere. So they both go, their whole different ways. Like Ultron, he does it on his own. He's still trying to destroy like humanity with more Ultron clones, whereas the entity basically it's like creating its own cult, has control over the internet, and it's slowly gaining control of all the nukes from each each country that has their own nukes. So basically that's the plan, to destroy the world. It got its own cult saying, hey, doomsday's coming, all this stuff, so there's a lot of believers in the entity. Now it's up to Ethan Hunt to stop that along with his crew. And that's basically the gist of the story right there. And if he doesn't stop it, well, it's the end of the world, because everyone's gonna get nuked, and things will turn out pretty bad. So yeah, lots of great action here. I really enjoyed it a lot. The stunts, as always, just awesome. Like the plane scene that they've been hyping up in the posters and the trailers, really awesome. Definitely recommend watching that part too, especially. Just, it's a really cool part. There's just a lot of cool moments here, a lot of emotional moments. This really felt like the ending, because it is, of course, like it's Tom Cruise's final film in the Mission Impossible franchise. And let me tell you guys, it really is going to be rough replacing him. I don't know what they're going to do, if it's a reboot. As of right now, we just know, like I said, this is his final film in the franchise. This could be the final film in this timeline. We don't know, like I said, we don't know what the future holds, but it's going to be hard to replace him, because wow, he is, as always, the standout of this film. But of course there's a lot of other great moments too, like Ving Rhames, also awesome as always. He kind of has his own send-off too, because like I said, this feels like a send-off to a lot of people, especially those who have been in the franchise the whole time. Not gonna spoil anything here, don't worry. But yeah, and then for the new crew, like the new members, like we got, Haley Atwell's character, I forgot her name, but she does a really good job too. If there's someone that could replace Tom Cruise, I don't know about big money draws, but I think when it comes to Haley Atwell, I think she does a great job in this film, and I would love to see more of her in the future. So hopefully they do continue the story and have her as a big part of it, because I think she's pretty damn awesome, especially in the MCU. For those who don't know, she also plays Agent Carter in the MCU. So yeah, she's awesome there, she's awesome here. I want more Haley Atwell in my movies. And just, I think everyone does a great job here. The cast, just positive thumbs up. The story, it could be very clunky at times, I'll admit, but I still pretty much enjoyed it. It's it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I guess it kind of has some themes of like current political themes, or just like not even necessarily political, but I guess like the power of AI and how damaging it could truly be, which is a current serious topic that a lot of people talk about. So it has those themes as mentioned because the entity. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. The score is really awesome. The sets look really beautiful. It's everything you expect out of a Mission Impossible film, not much different like the other ones. So I will say, this is definitely one of my I really enjoy the movie. I don't enjoy it as much as the last four, to be honest with you, but I really, really do like it a lot still. Now, for the negatives, not too many negatives I could say. Like I said, the story could be clunky at times, and sometimes it just doesn't make a lot of sense, especially with just I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense at certain points, especially with some things with the entity. I can't really spoil too much about it, but once you see the film, you'll get what I mean. It's just like, make you think, well, you could tell like this is movie plot armor and all that stuff, and or just like, it's like, well, why doesn't it just do this or that if it has the power? It's like a whole thing, Now, the second negative, even though I still enjoyed his performance, I'll count it as a negative because I think he might be the worst villain we've had in this franchise, and that's Gabriel, so that's kind of coming from Dead Reckoning Part 1, which everyone already said. He truly is like the worst villain here, and for reasons that I can't fully explain because it'd be spoiling it. His character in Dead Reckoning Part 1 is nothing like it is in this film. In this film, I enjoyed it, like I said, but he goes full Joker, and it's like, like that's kind of a weird transition because, in Dead Reckoning Part 1, he's like cunning and just like, really smart with what he's gonna do. It makes sense why he becomes what he is in this film, but it's also like, like, okay, that's a weird transition to go from, just like smarter than Ethan Hunt to the full-on Joker and be like, like he was a like 80s movie villain in this film. It was really, really weird. But I still enjoyed SM Morales' performance for the most part. I don't think he did a bad job with it. I just think the writing for it was just kind of weak, and just, Gabriel, yeah, no, he's definitely probably the worst villain in the franchise. But I have to get back on that because, there might have been one worse. But I think he might be the worst. He was still enjoyable though. But with that said, those are really the only negatives. Some weird CGI shots. I didn't like the CGI shots of the nukes that much. They kind of looked mad to me and everything. And the third negative is like, how did this movie cost $400 million? It's not gonna make any money. I mean, $400 million for this movie. Jeez. That's a big budget. It's one of the most expensive movies to ever be made, and I just don't know how they're gonna make that. How did you even balloon up to 400 million? If it was 100 million, oh man, but easily money there. But I don't think this movie is gonna make any money because of that budget. That budget is disgustingly high, especially because that's the budget for just making the film. That doesn't even count the cost to market the film and everything. So yeah, it's looking rough there. But overall, besides that, I really enjoyed the movie. I think I'd give it 4.5. 4 out of 5 stars. I think a 4 out of 5 star rating is fair. Because like I said, a lot of good action, a lot of fun stuff. I think it's a really good send off to the Ethan Hunt character, and I'm really excited to see where this franchise goes after. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for me. What do you guys think? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next time for the review of Sinners here on Real Rap Entertainment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.